Hello. Today I'm going to begin a new altered book journal for 2018, and I have named this Cherry Blossom because I found this delicious book in an antique mall, and as you can see, I do believe that this is in Japanese script. If that is not so, I'm sure someone will let me know, but that is the my understanding of what the book is printed in, and it was published in 2005. And so I'm going to be working on these pages, and as you can see, the pages go back to front, but I was able to, I think, discern the fact that this was probably the front of the book because of the way the spine was printed. I might be all, there again, I might be all wrong, but I don't think so because also of the way this ribbon marker was included. What I have done in preparation for today's video is to remove some sheets of paper from the front part of the book. Every few pages I removed a few. As you can see, they are lovely and will be lovely for a collage, or I think I'm planning on sharing some of them on Random Acts of Kindness envelopes. But this is just something I am looking forward to, and I think I will begin here. And thanks to a tip from Gina Ahrens, I have purchased some dollar store cutting boards and cut it down to fit so that I can place it behind each page that I'm working on as I'm working, because I don't know how porous this paper is and I have not made any test swatches. I'm going to learn by doing again. I have picked out two shades of collage, my burnt umber and burnt sienna, and this came in packing, and I just love the shape here. So I think I'm going to get this shape on this page, and I'm going to use my pencil quite lightly to put this lovely keyhole background shape on the page. Let's see if I have it. Yes, I do. And I'll close up this little opening over here. Okay, mission accomplished. Now I want to put a light layer of gouache down, hopefully that I will be able to see through onto the script underneath. So before I begin, let me just take out a tiniest little bit . Whoops. One thing about the gouache, you can always assume that the binder is going to make itself known before the gouache does, and more. Well, I won't be surprised if this gives up and becomes hardened, because I seem to, there's a tiny bit of it. Okay. It's already starting to dry up a little bit. And now I have used this color before. There we go. I don't want to use I do want to use as little water as absolutely I'm able to do, because, as I said, I don't know what's going to happen here, but I'm about to find out. I've got my watercolor brushes out. I think I'll use this one, which is a Low Cornell 1/2 inch angular brush with not too much paint or water. I'd like some shade gradation. So let's see what we can do here. Wish me luck. Well, that's a little darker than I want it to be. Okay, so let's see if I can spread this out a little bit. And this angled brush works a treat on certain of these areas. Go. I've tried to get this to be lighter on one side, and so far it seems to be working. But I certainly have had a learning experience. My first one in the cherry blossom, about the amount of gouache on my brush. Well, alrighty. Background is down. I'm going to take a little bit of time drying this, and I'll be back. Well, Good news, the paper does not bleed through, and it is rather fine paper, but obviously high quality. And the gouache dried lighter, which makes me happy. And this is my learning experience area. I'll leave that there to remember for the future. But I think I've decided that I want to put two pages together. So, my Elmer's Extreme is going to do its job now. There we go. If I hadn't done this, watered this paper beforehand, I believe that these glued pages would have been perfectly flat, but that's okay. That was an art decision in the middle of the run for the end of the diving board, so yes. Alrighty, now I picked one piece of collage to add to this page, and now the decision is, nope, I don't think I want it there. I think it's going to need to go here. I want it to be off the edge, maybe up a little bit, and off. Yes. Let's look at that close up. This little bit of a building and a fence here, and I don't know, and flowers. I'm just so enjoying those pieces of collage. Yes. Get them down. I have no idea where this is going to go after this. I call it my keyhole, and some gouache, mission accomplished. I didn't expect to be gluing the pages together, but I'm going to. And this piece of collage, which quite tickles me. Yes. Well, I have to admit that I'm liking my plan thus far, which is not too many steps forward, I know, but now I have to have a think. I think I'm going to be liking this. This is handy. I'll be back. I'm going to give this a little bit more of a think. I've decided to use a very light and enjoyable shade of green in Ceramcoat called Stone Wedge Green. I don't want this to shout, but I want it to be here. So let's just see what we can do. Ah yes, just very light. Touch that's neither too yellow or too blue. Let's see. Let's peek now. Alrighty. Not so alrighty up there. What to do, what to do? I was so busy looking down here that I wasn't looking up there. Well, maybe. Maybe I can do a little cheat. Let's see what happens. Just a little cheat. A little bit better. Not so much. Cheat some more. Okay, a little better with that vine right there. Well, I think you don't need to watch me doing this. I'll be back. So, I have added some cheat up here. I have added some fine outlining lines with my Le Pen in brown, and I wrote Cherry Blossom with my Uniball Signo white. And now I'm just going to see if I can't add some suggestion of cherry blossoms with my number 6 Princeton round blender. I chose this because I can work vertically and kind of put the underbit of the suggested cherry blossoms on. Now, I'm not going to say that I'm not very happy. These cherry blossoms might not be hiding my multitude of sins up here, but I do get visions of the way the cherry blossoms just fill up the world in Washington every spring. And lots of times they get snowed on. Some down here. Now, I think I'm just going to rub some of the paint off this blender and go and put the white on top of these cherry blossoms. These are, let's just say, expressive hints of cherry blossoms. But I have to say, it looks like they're saving my bacon on this page. And part of art is figuring out how to get out of corners that you paint yourself or goof yourself into. And being so fixated on another part of a stencil doesn't help, especially up there. Well, maybe. And then again, but I must say, I'm sorry, I'm off tack here, but I'm seeing the characters through that background, and I'm kind of happy with that. But I'm wondering if this doesn't need some more, since the cherry blossoms are working so well. I don't think less is more. I think maybe we'll have an abundance of a good thing. I'll have to give that a think. I'll be back. Well, I have plenty of time to think over the interim, and I've decided that I'm going to work on the title, and I'm going to be trying this Copic Opaque White. I've seen this used, and I was quite anxious to give it a try, so I just brought this small amount It almost looks like a nail polish bottle, and a very fine Princeton. A 0 round, and here we go again. Wish me luck. Going to add just the tiniest bit of water to make this paint fall. Well, that is certainly making the white whiter, isn't it? Using my Zainab Bloser cursive handwriting, which I taught for many years. I guess I'm taking kind of an easy way out because I'm using what I know. To get the job done. 1, 2, 3, and a nice tail. There we go. Yes, that does make a bit of a difference. Now, I'm going to work on outlining with my Le Pen brown. I'm not talking because I'm kind of holding my breath. Now let's see, is that popping it out? Yes, it is. It's a very, very fine, very, very fine point. But I'm still being extraordinarily careful, because I know that I could go over it if I made a mistake. I could go over it. In a heavier point, but this right, just a little bit of and not completely outlining. Let's go down here. Oops, I think I'll leave that right where it was. Let's see if that, yes, that adds just a little bit of definition to these leaves. And I know that you don't want to watch me take up your time doing each and every one of them, so I'm going to get back to you when I have these leaves taken care of. Well, as you can see, I'm into my play mode. I've decided to put a little bit of shadow on the downstroke. And that does make quite a difference. But I decided to soften up some of these lines just a bit. I don't want to overdo. If you will notice also, I've used some of my go-to StazOn Timber Brown at the edge of this page in order to pop it forward a little bit. And I'm thinking a little more heft on the outline of the frame, and I think I'm going to stop at this point. Yes, that's what that needed. I do hope that you have enjoyed watching me work on this project in my new Cherry Blossom altered book journal. I started carrying out the design a little bit on what I perceive as the front cover. This has been a learning experience, particularly as I wanted all of this under characters to show, and I used a little bit too much gouache up in this corner, but it seems, I think, to make this look a little bit more realistic. It almost makes it look a little bit like a piece of wood. I also then decided halfway through that I was going to glue 2 pages together to give them a little bit of heft, which I did. And I have to say I'm not too tickled right now with the cherry blossoms. I think they need to be picked out a little bit, so let's see if I can do that. They don't seem to be yes. Well, I shall continue to do this, but I do hope that you have enjoyed my new cherry blossom. And if you have, I would so appreciate it if you would give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, share with a friend, and I would appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel. I'm going to stop now, say goodbye for the morning, and get back to adding some of those little dark areas just in the area of each flower, just to pop them forward. Not too much, just enough. Bye now.